makes it appear and disappear right before your eyes. There's the first shoot. Gamrot goes for the single leg. And look at this. Koike pressurizing Gamrot, and Gamrot being made to miss. I mean, these two guys are high-level warriors. Great knee strike, jumping knee strike there. This is really an all-star cast here. In our co-main event, it's for the vacant featherweight title at 65.8 kilograms. Gamrot, 14-0, he's undefeated. Kleber Koike Erbstem, 24-4-1. You just saw the numbers, now you're gonna see the reality. KSW 46 presents one of the most awaited matchups in any of the divisions, as these two absolute elite athletes are gonna settle once and for all who reigns supreme in the featherweight division.
So a touch of gloves. For me, this is going to be very interesting to see what Koike does. He promised better stand-up. He said, I'm going to go out there and throw combinations, get into exchanges that Gamrot does not feel comfortable. But Gamrot is a guy who knows every single position. Great boxing, great kicks, great wrestling, excellent jiu-jitsu for MMA. And he said, I'll put Koike onto the ground and show him I'm better in an MMA game in the grappling world. So this just has so many directions this fight could go. The big question for me is, can Koike cause problems with the BJJ?
Championship bout, 5 minute rounds. That shift in weight by Gamrot will be a factor here. Koike, of course, comfortable. This is where he lives. Gamrot, obviously, ever hopeful, shifted to make the weight. Will that make a difference to his performance? We know that Koike has just spent all his time on stand-up. We know that these two guys on the ground are just incredible athletes. But the alchemist, Koike, makes it appear and disappear right before your eyes. There's the first shoot. Gamrot goes for the single leg, and look at this. Koike wants to stay on the mat.
Very interesting. That was one of the questions. Can Koike get an opportunity to use that jiu-jitsu? One of the things that we saw, maybe even as far as his debut against Sovinski, is that he kind of trolls on the feet. He plays a lot. He'll take risks and hope that you come in a little bit too close, in hopes that you overreach, overcommit, overstep, maybe try to get to the clinch, and then he'll even pull guard or dive on a leg. He just wants to get you into grappling range.
Oh, the man's an absolute trickster. As I said, he's an alchemist and, you know, a real hypnotist. He will draw you in and throw up whatever he can. But look at this. Is it a trick? Is it a feint? Does he go to the ground on purpose? Gamrot, boxing southpaw. No one's in any great hurry here, but you just have to admire the level of athleticism from Gamrot to make the weight.
One of my keys for Gamrot was to be prepared for a boring first or second round. Just keep cornering Koike, make him work, find openings if they're there, but don't force them. And you mentioned it about the weight. I mean, that was the first battle. That was the first thing he had to do. He had to make championship weight. There was no leniency. There was no extra limit. He had to make the weight exactly, and he did that.
Well, both fighters settling down very comfortably into the stand-up, and we're seeing a really, really high standard of kickboxing and boxing from these two men who are renowned grapplers.
Gamrot playing southpaw here. Shades of the Norman Park saga, where obviously he faced a southpaw fighter too. But all that's behind him, and he's got one thing on his mind, that's becoming that two-division champion. So far, Koike backing off, just beckoning him in. Lots of kicks from both guys. The biggest surprise was that single leg. I mean, Gamrot didn't even have to hardly run the pipe. Koike was happy to go down.
Yeah, Koike will take this to the mat as soon as he can. And we're going 5 rounds here, so the stand-up, whilst useful, it's a way of these fighters conserving energy over the time period. You really start to go into the pain division when you're on the ground defending and or attacking, especially at this level. So happy to keep it in the upright. And then Koike throws that shifty little Ashiba Rai. He just throws out that sweep. It doesn't do anything, it's just a distraction, and he's fluid, he's soft in his approach, he's very yang about what he does. The crowd wanting to see more. And as it goes to a real slugfest here, a few slips on the way, but Gamrot is the one that's got the more composure, and he's pressing this against Koike. Oh, and a lovely little attempt to Ogoshi there from Koike.
Amazing. Beautiful stuff there from Koike, and he was just beckoning him in. This is what he wants. He'll sit in, he'll go for deep half, he'll go up, you know, into bad positions just to try to get into a place where he can get a hold of a limb. Little gamesmanship there. It's all about being willing to take risks given the confidence you have in your Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, because he is just such a zone fighter. When he gets in there, he takes into one position, then the next, then the next. He knows the roadmap.
Chris, do you think we'll see an early finish on this?
It's tough to say. I think the game plan for Gamrot is just to keep working like he has been. Stay with that maybe 2 to 3 rounds in. Once you're there, you're ahead on points, then you can start to think about other directions. For Koike, it's just to find that opportunity. He only needs 10, 20 seconds. Because once he gets in the zone, he knows the roadmap. He's thinking 3, 4, 5 moves ahead. Even if you defend the first and second.
Well, great exchanges here. And toing and froing in terms of throwing and landing the shots. And a livelier second round.
It's worth saying that Gamrot, as well as Mankowski, who ended up injured, spent most of their camp in American top team. So they really, really drilled hard for this opponent. And they had a lot of notice for this fight. Right now it's showing a very patient, mature performance from Mateusz Gamrot.
Well, we said that the relationship with this title strap has been a little bit of a rocky love affair for Koike. He was forced to vacate the title after missing weight in his first title defense at KSW 41. I mean, that was some hardcore, bittersweet cake to eat, that was. But he still fought at KSW 44, but at lightweight. And that was late notice replacement for Marian Zukowski. And he submitted him in the first round. But this is a different level now. Pound for pound, Gamrot, one of KSW's best fighters, but starting to miss now. Koike pressurizing Gamrot, and Gamrot being made to miss.
This is huge. Good job for Koike. It was the first time he was able to put Gamrot up against the fence like that.
Piles on the pressure with those hands, Koike. This is a complete departure from seeing him on the mat. Gamrot now looking to try and understand Koike's upright performance here.
The key thing for Gamrot is to try to force him against the fence, but stay 2 steps out. Don't allow him to reach and get a hold of you. Catch an arm, pull you in, get the clinch, get an underhook. He's stuck to that game plan more or less to a T so far. But this is what Koike wants to do. He wants to do the same to Gamrot. Now Gamrot falls into the takedown. This is massive. Koike accepts that, gets the closed guard. He's happy to be here.
Couldn't help himself, could he, Gamrot? He just couldn't help himself. Koike's up there throwing shots and knee strikes like he's a stand-up K1 fighter. We know he's not. That's the deception. That's the complete magic that Koike brings to this. He's an alchemist. And Gamrot now, well, body lock on there with that leg in there in a forelock. And Gamrot, well, is he entering a world of pain? This is his office as well, you know.
That was smart from Koike because he wanted to hold Gamrot there. He wanted to keep him in that position. He wasn't going to attack. He was going to wait and see what he could get. Goes to the leg here. Let's see what he can do with it. Couldn't get it, Gamrot. Perfect exit. Right out of the danger zone. Touch of gloves. These guys know what's at stake. It's not like Gamrot was under any confusion. There's no lack of tape as to the Koike blueprint. That's what he does. He goes fishing.
You know, there was a look there from Gamrot just at the end of that exchange when they both got to their feet. And the look, as I read it, was, you know, you're a little bit better than I thought you were, and just as good as you say they are. So it's a wake-up call for Gamrot. This is very interesting. 1 minute, 18 seconds left in this second round. We're scheduled for 5. It's a championship bout. This is going to be a rocky road for both men.
Smart again here from Gamrot. kind of plods onwards and just pot shots at him. Just little punches, little kicks. Standing nice and tall and long. He's kind of in a defensive stance here, and that's key. He needed to do this. It's not the most aggressive performance.
Some of the work we're seeing here from Kleberem Koike Erbstem, well, it pleads insanity. It really is. To see this man standing upright and trading is just incredible. The work he's done on his kickboxing is unbelievable. Gamrot coming slightly better off here, but these two ground stranglers, these two mat specialists are up there standing and boxing. It's incredible.
Inside low kick there from Gamrot, trying to attack that lead leg. Then he gets aggressive. 10-second clapper. He knows. He wants to put a stamp on this. Another good, strong round.
Main event. It's for the vacant featherweight title. Mateusz Gamrot, the gamer. Kleber Erbst, Koike. And this really is just such a deceptive bout. Both of these men are giving the performance of K1 kickboxers, but they are mat specialists, and it's really incredible to see. Just look at the level here. And we know that Erbst wants to take it to the mat. Gamrot not so willing, but we know he's such a great grappling specialist. So it goes to the ground, and just look what happens.
He's going for the omoplata here, Will. Again, defense, limp arm escape, just drags it out from Gamrot. A much more urgent start from both fighters. This is where I thought the turning point of the fight would be in the third round. You got a plan for 5. Gamrot came out a little bit more hot.
I mean, these two guys are high-level warriors. Great knee strike, jumping knee strike there from Koike. They're such high-level warriors. But even there was a little bit of trash talk because, you know, Gamrot said, I'm going down a weight to come and get your belt, you know, in the division. And Koike said, actually, after I've done you this time, I'm going up to get your belt in that division. I mean, it's incredible to hear that level of talk. But this is where this man lives. Just look at that. He's got the arm through. Has he got a bar on?
Looks like he's cleared the elbow. He should be safe here. This is the defense that Gamrot promised he would show off. He said, yeah, he's a good jiu-jitsu player, but I'm better in the MMA game. And I think he's proved that here in these positions.
This is such high-level work. You know, even in the stand-up, we're seeing great work from both men. But I don't know, it's difficult to call. Pound for pound, you know, do you think Erbst has it on the mat or Gamrot?
Well, Gamrot is doing enough to defend and nullify. Yes, Erbst is looking good with some of his attacks. Some of them were a little closer, but it's not enough. And in jiu-jitsu, it's either on or it's not.
And he really is so happy to lay in open guard and invite Gamrot in. Gamrot, a little stamp, trying to keep Koike busy. Oh, and from the ground, strikes like a cobra. That's the danger from this man. And the crowd getting a bit restless, which I think is a bit unfair because we are on 5 rounds here. We're in round 3. Where does he work that magic from? How does he manage to get purchase and leverage?
Erbst is cut, but it was a good job. Again, what he does so well is he just kind of makes sure his weight's in the right place to walk out of those leg locks. Erbst has gone for about 4 or 5 attempts. Gamrot just knows he's got to drag that leg free, clear the knee line, and get out. That's all he's got to do. He's just got to keep punishing Erbst every time he goes to that and get away. That's all he has to do.
Bad cut under the left eye of Kleber Erbst. It really is. That could be a decisive factor. It would be such a shame if this bout ended because of that injury. That's about 1 inch under the left eye of Erbst. He's so good at this, Gamrot. He's a spoiler. Will they allow Erbst to continue? Well, it's tense moments in the corner, and it's not looking good.
It looks like it's swelling pretty good, but I think it should be in a position where, as long as at this point it doesn't swell further and impede the vision, they'll probably let it continue. That being said, you know where Gamrot's going to work when they resume.
Oh, without a doubt. You know, and he frustrated Norman Park in their 2 outings. You know, Park complaining. They've allowed Erbst to continue, but he needs to pull a genie out of the bottle now. We need to see some magic if he's going to take this strap. Will Gamrot take 2 crowns Just look at him rushing to the task. And Erbst is going to have to defend that left eye like it was the crown jewels.
Good patience again from Gamrot. Well timed left. Good technical counter there with the kick. Parries it to the side, then comes in and boxes. This is smart. And frankly, this is what we saw him do against Norman Park when Park wanted to get into a brawl. So it's good stuff. Gamrot's just a smart guy. He's made the right decisions in this fight. His fight IQ has been the difference. But here we go. Koike goes up with the legs. Again, omoplata, but he's tried this about 4 or 5 times in addition to those leg locks. And here, that's the result. Wasted energy.
Erbst desperate to try and get it on here, protect that eye, and bring Gamrot down. But Gamrot is still powerful at the weight, isn't he? Well, a little smile there from Erbst. And this is with 30 seconds or so on the clock at the end of the third. A little bit of time off for the corner to work on the eye of Erbst. It ain't over till it's over, but Gamrot may well have edged this in a matchup that I think Erbst was slightly edging. But he's so good at the upset, Gamrot, isn't he? Oh, and Erbst now sees the opportunity, comes forward. There's the 10 seconds.
He's on the path home.
Round 4, championship strap on the line here. Kleber Erbst, Mateusz Gamrot. Erbst cut quite badly under the left eye, but the corner have done a great job. It was mostly the swelling that was keeping it open. He's able to continue, but he needs to get Gamrot to the canvas and bring something. But Erbst now starting to show signs of wear and tear. Gamrot looking lemon fresh here, and Erbst looking, well, just a bit raggedy round the edges, but that's part of Erbst's strategy, isn't it? He loves to make you think he's on his way out, and then in that split second, when you think you've got an advantage, he's on you, like a drunk on a kebab.
That's one of the ways he's been able to defeat great wrestlers, for example. They might be stronger, but he's willing to pull them in. Nice stuff here. He's going to go for a leg. Gamrot now potentially can mount if he can free that right leg. Look at the elevator hook, though. The way that Koike just slides that instep in. He's got that leg. Leg lock on tap. Wow, look at this. He's gone from one to the next. Gamrot sits backwards, realizes one leg was in jeopardy, then the next, and just flattens Koike out, makes him feel the weight. This is one of the big questions. Gamrot's a bigger, stronger guy. Koike's got to use technique here.
Wow, well, we're seeing that in full force here. Transition to transition to transition. I mean, Erbst, you can't keep track with it. He's now in a position where he's in real trouble here. He does not want to let Gamrot get on top.
Now Gamrot has a back take if he wants it. Granby roll here from Koike, trying to re-guard. This is good. This is a good opportunity. Koike's moving through the zones and the transitions and the points of attack, the points of shifting. This is where he could catch Gamrot. Gamrot should just get out of here. I wouldn't hang out. He's won almost all of the exchanges in this round so far on the feet, so why hang?
He's got that right arm to pull through if he can. The legs are hanging, but he takes a big punch on that left eye. Gamrot knows where to target. Erbst happy to just stay on the ground there. That's where he's having the real success. And I mean, he's going to score highly with this because the judges are going to want to see those techniques. Even though he's passing through them, these are real good attacks from that position on his back.
That being said, Gamrot's wrestling is very good. His passing attempt is very good. He's the aggressor. He's the controller. He's been able to take Koike down. He's landing short punches. There's effective grappling for MMA from the side of the gamer too, despite the attacks of Koike, so there's some validity on both sides.
Well, are we getting the idea that Erbst is running out of ideas? Psychologically, That cut must have worked very negatively for Erbst, but he's still in there, and psychologically for Gamrot, he cannot put this German-Japanese fighter away.
Nice hands, and Koike smiles, but that's not enough. Gamer hasn't taken the bait yet. I don't see him taking it in the rest of this fight.
Yeah, the sloppy work really is just an invitation for Gamrot to try and shoot and take it to the ground. And Erbst has thrown every attack, every attempt he can from the ground, but it's not enough. And now he's being outboxed. It's a first-class performance, isn't it, from Mateusz Gamrot?
He's never left his neck in jeopardy either on those takedowns. Nice boxing, and then just frames, backs away. Very smart. Koike was reaching. I mean, even off those punches, those looping punches, he just tries to reach and get a hold of you.
Yeah. So Gamrot now having a lot of success in the upright. Erbst is going to have to dig deep. And is this acting, or is this part of the strategy from Erbst? He's rope-a-doping Gamrot. Maybe Gamrot can taste a little submission. Maybe he thinks he's beat up Erbst enough to go in. Erbst drops his hands and says, no, you're not doing it. Ten seconds to go, and great boxing there from Gamrot. The championship belt up for grabs. For Gamrot, it will be a coup. He'll make KSW history with a 2-divisional win, but it ain't over till it's over. Kleber Erbst. He's done so much to try and get his hands on this title, but the moment of truth has come, and this is what it's all come down to.
Good stuff here, but Gamrot just is out of there. Just walks away, turns his back and drags the leg free. Very smart. For me, for Gamer, it's just rinse and repeat. Just keep doing what you're doing. And he's kind of changed the pace of it a little bit throughout the fight. He turned it up in the third onwards, I think, a little bit. But he's been super disciplined, and that was one of the keys for me, was just stay disciplined.
Well, the boxing discipline has gone from Erbst. He's getting caught with these shots unnecessarily. The statement of intent is, I want to go to the ground, and Gamrot's read it, thrown it up and put it in the bin. He's not interested in that. And he punishes Erbst coming in, scoring with the hands. And it's not joined up fighting at all from Erbst. He really needs a rabbit out of a hat at this point.
Erbst is still walking forward, but Gamrot is not interested in the clinch. I haven't seen a kick yet in this round, and probably a good 30-odd punches have been thrown. So there we go. Drags him down, but doesn't follow. Doesn't want to get caught in the guard. It's been a very preemptive performance from Mateusz Gamrot. And that's obviously one of the best ways to approach a guy with a tricky guard.
It's been an exceptional performance from Gamrot. Really joined up. He's never been tempted. And we know the danger that Koike can bring to this. Still ain't over, but Gamrot. In the third round, we saw what was possible from Erbst. And look at that, Gamrot cannot get away. I mean, he's like a virus, Erbst.
But you feel like this, now over the midway point of the fifth, Gamrot's got the vaccine.
Yep, this is a rough road now for Erbst. Great boxing skills at the beginning of this, but it's all become just a little too predictable in terms of what Erbst is bringing to this. He's always going to be a crowd favourite, Gamrot. This is great boxing work there from the gamer. And Erbst doesn't have an answer.
And for me, it's been the right pace. It's one thing to make 155 pounds. It's another thing to go down to the featherweight division like he's done here. Well, he made that, but it's another thing again to go 5 hard rounds your first fight at 145. For me, Gamrot has ticked all of the boxes here.
Yeah, you know, a more deserved win you couldn't have, and great stand-up skills for a man that's, you know, made his living as a grappler.
An ADCC level guy as well, so.
And still looking lemon fresh, coming into the last minute of this 5th and final round here for this featherweight strap. And you cannot say that this competition was won by fluke, by luck, by... This has been a real strategy. It's been a real war. And he's up against, you know, a really, really top practitioner. And I think a lost opportunity for Erbst. But Gamrot grabbed it with both hands.
It's been by design. He's one of the most complete fighters in KSW. He's got all the tools, but he's only using the right ones for the job in this case.
We are just 20 seconds away from Mateusz Gamrot becoming a 2-divisional champion. It's been a real game of, well, I was going to say 2 halves, but they've been separate halves in that Gamrot has been the stand-up king here. Erbst has gone for the mat, but not enough. And now look at Gamrot. Starts to let go. What a great outing. 2 real champions at work here. But Mateusz Gamrot has done it. He is the new featherweight champion at KSW. What have you got to say, Chris Hoekstra?
Man, that was not just a performance by Gamrot, that was a statement of being one of the best pound-for-pound dominant guys in KSW. He went out there, he used all of the intelligent offense with the hands, he controlled the takedown, and he escaped every single submission attempt. For me, it was a perfect fight.
Ladies and gentlemen, your winner and new KSW featherweight champion of the world, Mateusz Gamrot.